Yeah, y'all knew I was going to weigh in on what happened at the White House today. And I want to preface this by saying I have never been more ashamed and disgusted with this country than I am right now. And I say this country and not just the buffoon that's occupying the presidency and his sidekick, Shady Vance. I'm saying with this nation because 77 million of y'all went to the polls and voted for this clown. And then some more hundreds of thousands of y'all decided to vote for the groundhog that only pops up every 4 years to spoil elections, Jill Stein. And then millions more of y'all decided not to vote. The combination of those three is what got us here. Okay. Today, let me give you a history lesson for the Trumpansies that will say, "Oh, America, he stood up for us." Shut up. Because if that's your take, you have no clue what you're talking about. There is an agreement called the Budapest Memorandum. In that agreement, Ukraine agreed to give up their nuclear arsenal, and in exchange, the United States agreed that if they ever needed us, that we would have their back to defend themselves. That is an agreement that has stood for years now. It was agreed upon back in the 90s. This administration is willing to trash that agreement because A, Zelenskyy won't bow down and agree to just hand over parts of his country to a dictator, and 2, what this administration is trying to do is to railroad Zelenskyy into giving up rare earth minerals because everything is transactional with this orange buffoon. So basically they want Zelenskyy to agree to, okay, I'll knuckle under, I'll let Putin have whatever parts of the country he decides to take, and I will give the United States control over our rare earth minerals, and in exchange I get to hope Putin doesn't decide to bomb me again. Does that sound like does that sound like America adhering to their part of an agreement that has stood for over 30 years? Is that what that sounds like to you? See, and see the Fox Noise bubble is already, doing their echo chamber thing, because you got Lindsey Graham going out in front of cameras saying, "Oh yes, he stood up for America." No, that was not standing up for America. That was embarrassing. That was putting on full display for the world to see that we have the most unqualified, unhinged excuse of a man holding the most powerful seat on the planet. That's what that proved. It did not prove anything good about us. Not at all. And what they were yelling at this man about, they were saying, "Oh, he's not thankful enough." And then they brought up the fact that he met with a Democratic leader. Like, this is your issue? That he spoke to a Democrat? Volodymyr Zelenskyy, the president of Ukraine, sat in the White House today and showed more respect for the office of the presidency than the actual orange clown that holds the office. If you disagree with me, you're on the wrong side of this. Absolutely on the wrong side of this. We should be ashamed. We should be absolutely ashamed. If you're among the 77 million folks who got duped into voting for that, you should be ashamed of yourselves. If you voted third party as a protest vote, you should be absolutely ashamed because you helped bring us to this moment too. If you were eligible to vote and you stayed home and you decided, well, I'm not voting, this is on you. All of this is on you. This is what we are up against. And the idea, the idea that they think this makes them look good, they think this makes them look good. This makes our nation look, we are a laughing stock among the world, and for allowing that man to get back into the office, we deserve to be.